and I just tell you stories about things that are happening right now, and you bring up the same tired thing that probably every single person in this room has had to listen to, from you probably, at many events. So, you know, no, I don't believe it.
First of all, I want to say thanks for bringing up the stuff that you actually comment for JSOC inside jokes, so thank you. My question is for you is, you really didn't focus on the operators themselves, and I don't really want to get into the ground.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Crystal Boykin, Stephen Cambron type of what I call the Guild of Three?
Right.
Do you think they still have the control over JSOC and SOC operators in general, and just pushing some kind of superior authority?
Yeah, let me just repeat to people what you're saying. So he was saying that you know the mentality of the Stephen Cambron, who was the head of Rumsfeld's Office of Special Plans and was really the guy who tried to start to use JSOC forces to implement a political agenda of the White House. And Jerry Boykin, did you also mention?
Yeah.
General Jerry Boykin was one of the commanders of Operation Gothic Serpant in Somalia, and is a sort of famed figure within the special ops world. But he also is a admitted Christian supremacist who made controversial remarks when he said, "My God is bigger than the God of the Muslims," and it sort of got him in trouble. I do think, first of all, I will say that I've gotten to know operators from various divisions of JSOC who are SEALs or Delta Force guys or 75th Rangers, and I don't think it's at all a homogenous bunch. I mean, there are guys that are neuroscientists who then went through BUDS training and became Navy SEALs. They're extremely well educated. Admiral William McRaven, the head of SOCOM, is an incredibly well educated, smart guy who was an original member of SEAL Team 6, but also has a degree in journalism. And there are absolute yahoos and murderers that are in the ranks of some of these units. And the Christian supremacy is a major issue within the military. And you know, they have these challenge coins that they give out for units, and some of the challenge coins have, you know, very overt crusader imagery and language on them, and they're coins of units or for certain operations, but it definitely is a problem, religious fanaticism within the U.S. military. Whether it's influenced by, you know, Boykin, he certainly is looked up to by a lot of guys in those units, and is viewed as a legend. But it's something that's not really talked about that much. You know, in my book, I talk to people that know Stanley McChrystal very well, and say that he was totally down with the crusader mentality of the Bush administration. My understanding is that McRaven is not a particularly fanatical Christian guy, so it is a problem. It's also a problem in the non-special ops part of the military. You know, just sort of rank and file. There's a lot of Christian fanaticism, and you know, the Quran being burned or urinated on, and all that stuff. It's not just sort of random acts of tomfoolery in a war zone. There are people that believe that Islam is the religion of the devil, and that what they're doing is fighting a holy war of their own, and that's really a disturbing part of U.S. military culture. Yes, ma'am.
I just heard a report yesterday or the day before on Democracy Now! About gunfire across the Mexican border, innocent killings of Mexicans on the other side of the border by U.S. Border Patrol. Is there any connection, do you think, in terms of training of U.S. demilitarization on the border?
So the question was about the militarization of the U.S.-Mexico border and these reports that there was shooting across it, and a number of people were killed. I didn't see those reports, so I can't comment directly on that. As to your broader question, I mean, the war on drugs is the fact that it's still called a war on drugs. I mean, it's a heavily militarized operation, and the U.S. has been working with has been upfitting the Mexican special forces and the police, and you have U.S. special operations forces that are attached to units in Mexico fighting the drug cartels. The U.S.-Mexico border is a sort of militarized zone in a lot of ways, and you know, drones are being used, not armed drones at this point, but drones are being used on the U.S.-Mexico border, and may well end up being armed at some point. It wouldn't surprise me. But to the broader